Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of the Tana Talk Soccer podcast. I have a true story to tell you guys. I just recorded this episode and I just found out that the audio was for some reason messed up. So I am re-recording it for you guys. So please like, share and subscribe, and also rate this podcast. It is very, very important to me that you rate it. Your honest opinions though, I'm not telling you that you just have to put it's very fantastic, it's very lovely, the host is so beautiful and eloquent and good at his job. I mean, these are the things you should put, but I'm not saying you should put that, you get me, but just your honest opinion, even though I know this is kind of what you think about me. But right into it, we saw Tottenham lose at home for the first time, or anywhere actually in the Premier League this season. First loss of the season. Ange Postecoglou's Tottenham Hotspur have had a very, very, very fantastic start for a team that their logo is a chicken on a bowl, or for any team at all. Fantastic start, right? First loss. They're down to second now in the Premier League. But that's not what I'm here to talk about though. I'm here to talk about Ange Postecoglou's comments post-game. Of course, 2 red cards were given and there was a lot that happened in that game. So that of course is ring ring. Who's on the phone? It's me, controversy. Whether the referees get it right or wrong, doesn't matter. 2 red cards in the game, be sure that's going to be the talk of the game, the talk of the town. And Ange, of course, couldn't escape those questions about it. I am here just to wholeheartedly disagree with this man.
That's the problem. Premier League managers should just manage their football clubs. I've never, and I never will, talk to a referee about the rules of the game. I was taught that you grow up and you respect the officials. You know what managers do? I'll tell you what managers do, me included. We try and find ways to bend the rules, to get around them. Tell me what the rule is, and I guarantee you'll have a room full of managers processing how can I get around this. We're not the right people. And I get that people keep saying that. I don't agree with it. What I want is the best officials, always being upskilled to officiate the game. But I think it's so hard for a referee to officiate these days. Their authority is just constantly getting diminished. I just don't know how. Like I said, I grew up afraid of referees. They're a bit like policemen.
And what he said about this, because he said things to the, what's this word? My goodness, what's this word? Where's my English going? What's this word? Whatever. He said things that kind of insinuated. This is not what I wanted to say though, but yeah, you just have to improvise because you're recording. What can you say? You can't stay here forever. To the things that kind of meant that he grew up in an era or in a time where he was, or not even about his time, he was just basically afraid of referees, and they were basically like policemen, and feels like managers should stick to coaching. What I'm saying? I also feels like the position of the referee is diminishing, which is not good, and it feels like they should have that authority, and it feels that the authority is waning. Now, I understand him, and I generally do respect with him that position should always be respected, because that's what decides what happens on the pitch. But I also have a counter for him, and I say that it is respected because when last did you see a situation in the top flight where, for example, a player was sent off and he didn't go off, or he was given a red card and he decided to fight the referee because he feels that he was hard done by and his emotions got the better of him, or when a manager is given a red card and he doesn't go to the stands, or is given a match ban and doesn't stay in the stands, or go to the dressing room or whatever. So I think on surface level they do respect it, but respect doesn't mean agreeing with every decision, especially when your track record is not good. To whom much is given, much is demanded. They have technology now of the highest order and they still manage to get it wrong every single week. I am Nigerian, right? And even though my viewers are from, I don't know, everywhere, luckily for me, I have people who view my stuff, who read my website from all around the world. And I don't know how much anyone knows about Nigeria, even though most of my listeners are Nigerian. But for those of you who don't, Nigeria is, of course, a very massive, diverse, beautiful country in its own way, but there's 1,000,001 things wrong as well, or 1,000,005 things, if I'm being more accurate. And at the forefront of that is, of course, poor leadership and corruption, and it's like Nigerians every day are suffering, and so much is happening, so much is going wrong. A lot of Nigerians are being bullied and maimed and deprived of human rights by the political class. And this is not even only exclusive to Nigeria. This happens basically in so many other countries all around the world. It's like, what happens, a lot of the political class just oppress and steal and what's the other thing called? Steal. And Ange Postecoglou is coming to say, this is the government. You have no right to complain about this. You should be scared of them. No, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. That's not how it works, mate. If you were scared of them, then I think... I don't know if I should say this. Maybe you were a bit of a sissy. Maybe, like, this is not how it should be. It's a you thing. And that's all right. That's all right. I used to be scared of Santa Claus growing up. Ask my mommy. She will tell you. So that's all right. Every man to his own. Each to his own. So if you're scared of referees, I was scared of Santa Claus, and I don't know what you guys were scared of, but it happens. But I wouldn't come to say, you must be scared of Santa Claus, because nah, that's my business. And I kept to my business up until now that Ange just made me bring it on to the public. Damn it. Anyway, back to his comments. These referees have a track record of being so incompetent. So why should they be, I don't know, why should we just shut up and... Because once again, people respect their decisions, because whatever they give stands. It does stand. People don't like, the fans, like, nothing happens. Like, that's the point. Nothing actually happens. Like, whatever they give stands. So that's respect, in my opinion. But you cannot cheat teams who a lot rides on this, because for players, for managers, for everyone, performances matter. If a player is not playing well consistently, he will be dropped, unless you're Anthony and your manager is Ten Hag. But in other situations, you'll be dropped if manager results don't go well. If the teams don't win and they're losing, the managers will be fired. Just make no mistakes, right? When you talk about pressure, it is all of top flight football. It's not just exclusive to the big clubs, because guess what? Apart from Chelsea, the big clubs are kind of a bit more stable manager-wise, and of course Tottenham. Chelsea and Tottenham, they're the ones. But if you look at small clubs, they're the ones that have been chopping and changing, because no one wants to go down. Like, there's a lot of clubs that have had like 7 managers in the last 7 years or 6 years. It's insane. The pressure on the top flight across the board is insane. And there's teams that have been cheated out of it. These points matter to everyone. These points do. Because in a game like Liverpool-Tottenham, for example, Tottenham-Liverpool, sorry, and maybe Man City win the season by a point, Of course, there's a lot that went into, and a lot of things happened. But if you just want to be simplistic, Liverpool were denied a clear goal. A very clear goal. It's cheated them out of a result that was potentially destiny changing. So the power in the hands of the referees are so much, and they're just too incompetent to have the power. I have been a big advocate of VAR since 2012. I've waited season in, season out, season for this video assistant referee to come, because the incompetence in the Premier League has been going on for a very long time. And I've been waiting, because I just felt like they know the rules. Of course, they're referees. Like, bro, like, but what do you do with your day? I mean, if you're eating your breakfast, you're reading the rule book, like you graduated from rule book university or something. Like, that's your job. You know what I'm saying? That's your job. And it's very surprising that even the beer parlor pundit, the pub pundit, knows and says things on the pitch that the referees absolutely get wrong, even with the help of technology. It's insane. You heard Mike Dean on Sky the other day saying that the on-field referee got it wrong, and him as the VAR didn't call the referee to the monitor because he wanted to save the referee's face. He didn't want to undermine him. Is this some ego kind of competition, or I don't know? Dear Ange Postecoglou, respect is reciprocal. Why should you respect an institution that has clearly shown they lack integrity, intentionally dishonest? Because if you wanted to pin it only on incompetence, that is more than enough reason not to respect them. The fate of managers, teams, clubs, finances rests in your arms. So incompetence is not good enough. Apart from weathermen, referees are the only people who face absolutely no consequence for being absolutely terrible at their jobs. None whatsoever. And even apart from incompetence, I was about to say competence on Premier League referees. Ugh. I know I'm dramatic. But even apart from the incompetence, we talk about dishonesty and lack of integrity, as Mike Dean has proven. If any other person thought it was a bit of a conspiracy, Mike Dean just proved that it isn't. It isn't a conspiracy. It is facts. He saw something, knew that the on-field official got it wrong, and intentionally decided to let it slide. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you call that? No, say. I want to hear. What do you call that? And these are the people that should be unequivocally agreed with no resistance. Because you cheat managers, you cheat players, and they're not allowed to express their feelings. It's a dictatorship. It is. It is. So dear Ange, I know like you're bringing this whole old school football, this is how it should be, blah blah blah, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. A lot of the old pros are hailing you, real football man, da 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 da. Why are you guys okay with a lack of accountability? Trust me, if Premier League referees were somehow like good and consistent, the reality that we face is every week we're presented with controversial decisions. It is not good enough. Like, can we just talk about football being played? Can we talk about how Richarlison and Saka and, I don't know, Højbjerg and Eberechi Eze and Olise or whatever, Koyate, how they did this, how Roy Hodgson did this, how Ange Postecoglou's Highland was abysmally abysmal. Like, let's come out of games talking about football. I miss it. But week in, week out, the referees are the absolute stars of the show. They are on the front covers. They make the headlines. Who says Mo Salah is the face of the Premier League? He's not. He isn't. It's the referees. They are the face of the Premier League. And that's insane. That's insane. The honesty and integrity of the game has been compromised, proven by decisions we see on pitch week in, week out that the referees get wrong, even the very obvious ones. Now, how do you explain a professional referee, not calling his counterpart to the monitor when he sees his counterpart has factually gotten it wrong because he doesn't want to embarrass him or what? How do you explain a referee in the video assistant room, replay room, whatever, not calling the right call, not making the right call, not knowing the on-field decision in the first place, and telling the referee, yeah, correct call. I'm referring to Luis Diaz versus Tottenham Hotspur. When the audio was released, we heard that the video assistant referee said correct, even though they had just established that it was offside. When the guys in charge of replay, who's not a referee by the way, was the one telling them, guys, what are you saying? It is offside. And it's like, yeah, good, it's all good. You didn't, like, aren't you watching the game? Did you go to grab a scone and an ice cream or donuts when the game was going on? Don't you know what is happening? Are these the people that are not supposed to be challenged? Sounds like a dictatorship to me, mate. The mate was intentional. I don't know if you know what I did there. Anyway, yeah, like, so I'm not having that. I'm really not. I'm sorry, Ange. Like, there's some old school stuff in football that I agree, yeah, should come back. Football was better that way. But not a lack of transparency, accountability, and quite clearly integrity. It is corrupt. They are corrupt. And we cannot encourage it because people suffer. You know, and this is not even to encourage, for example, betting, by the way. But I saw the guy who lost so much money. How much was it? Like 100 grand or something, you know, with the Luis Diaz to score. That was the only thing. I think Luis Diaz actually scored. Not encouraging better, but the point is, across all boards, millions of people around the world, There's so much consequences from the people at the club, the owners, the players, the blah blah blah, the coach, to fans in different what's this word? Why am I forgetting important words? Like in different aspects. Let's go with the word aspect. In different ways, it's costing people all around the world. And you should just shut up and agree with it. I'm not having that, bro. I'm really not. They're corrupt, as Mike Dean has confirmed. It is corrupt. It is incompetent. And anyone who's followed me a bit knows that I kind of love to cut people some slack, because I'm generally, like in real life, I'm an understanding person. That's who I am. So anyone who knows me personally can confirm this. However, that now also like kind of translates into the way I analyze football. I'm kind of more patient. I'm not very quick to praise, and I'm also not very quick to absolutely slate and destroy. I love to see more, gather more evidence, and be more calm about it. And I grew up watching a lot of refereeing shows, I really took interest in that part of football, as in almost every part of football, because I love the game. And there was a lot of things that were involved in it, and I kind of always try to explain referees' point of views to people, even when they got it wrong, in terms of like not being able to get around to get that line of vision, that angles. Apart from knowing the rules, the angles, your work rate, and the angles, the ability to, just like a striker, the ability to read space and interpret where you should be to be able to get that front row view to the incident that's happening, is basically what refereeing is all about. And a lot of them are lazy in their movement sometimes. Sometimes it's not their fault. Something just happens and they just can't get it. There's a body between them and the action that just happened, and they've guessed so many times in the past. Sometimes got it right, sometimes got it wrong, because it's like, yeah, a decision is there to be made. However, with the VAR, it is just inexcusable. So that's why you cannot even call them any slack right now, because there's literally technology that shows you this thing from even different angles if you want. Slow motion, fast motion, all kinds of motion, whatever. Like you can literally see what happened there. And you're a ref. Literally, it's your job, bro. Like you went to ref university. Like you should know the rules. And if something is in front of you, again, like how do you know, how can you say 1 + 1 is 2 when I'm like 1 + 1? What is it? 1 + 1. Come on, Tana, what is it? And I'm like, you say again, 1 + 1 is, and I'm like, it's 502. And you're like, no, it's difficult. No, it's not. Like, you should know that. Like, you should know it. It's Stonewall and you're seeing replays. So in a world where the controversy and wrong decisions and cheating and lies and corruption of the Premier League, as I have proven that, see, I'm not just throwing accusations. We've seen it. The incompetence, the lack of integrity from Mike Dean and his players, because mind you, Mike Dean saying this on Sky Sports and coming back the next day, I'm like, why is everyone getting outraged? Now imagine what he's not said. This is what he said in public. So what happens behind? What happens that has not been said? What has not been said? Of course, way scarier stuff. So like, it used to be like a conspiracy before, but it's proven. He's gone on to prove it. And if the incompetence, cheating, and everything wasn't happening on a weekly basis and was a rarity, I would still criticize, but I would cut them some slack. I will cut them some slack. But it so happens that every single week, that's what we discuss. The Premier League referee getting it wrong. The Premier League Association referees issuing apologies. The guy who writes that thing will be tired by now. His hand will be paining him, because I'm sure when they employed him in his JD, he was like, "Come, okay, the amount of hours you have to put into your work, the amount of work you have to do, you just calculate. It's fine. Like, I just have to release statement here and there." But bro is typing letters every week. Like, this is not what he planned for. You know what I'm saying? He was thinking that his Sundays would be a bit less calm. He would just chill with friends or whatever, and then he has to be in the office typing. I feel bad for him. Every week. And these are the people that should not be challenged. Really, is that what you're advocating for, really? In the grand scheme of things, in the world, in life, even outside of football, authority should be there, of course. Without authority, the world is mayhem. You know what I'm saying? If there were no rules, then what stops person A from just going into a bank, taking money? I mean, people do it anyway, but there's a high risk because you're going to be caught and possibly jailed or whatever, you know, maybe or maybe not. So authority should exist, of course, but there should also be accountability. You know, I'm from a country where leaders lack accountability, and it's crazy. It's not does not done anyone any good. I wish there was accountability. I wish there was consequences for stealing $5 million from the public purse. I wish there was. You know. So Ange, what are you really advocating for? Nah. And I know you enjoyed this, so please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you very much. Have a lovely day. I know you're wondering, has this ended? No, I'm still here because you haven't done what I just said you should do. Do it now. All right. Thank you. Good boy. Good girl. Bye-bye.